Jack Sinclair is my D5. That sounds absolutely crazy to say that, but it's actually turned out to be the reality of the situation, I would say, almost in a way, because my defense is just so stacked compared to the rest of the lines as we look at it here. But anyway, let's jump into this team reveal for round, what are we up to, 14? And it looks crazy to look at the team like this in price order, but it is what it is at the moment. And I am down to currently, I mean, all of my primos are on field because I barely have any primos off. Like, there's no point putting Nick Dacos off. I do have 20 guys, which is a little sort of shows with, I guess, in terms of just the availability of the bench guys. I mean, I'd love for this to probably be the case, for this to happen, and then I'd be able to sort of run with it. At least the good thing is with so many guys, it's just so easy to get. I can just basically plop a C on the likes of a Nick Dacos if my VC fires, which I haven't even decided on. I've also got the decision between Carroll and also Angus Clark, which I can't even do because of James Leake being the only defender that I've got that is there. And that kind of sucks, is that because of this, I actually can't get to 21 guys rather than the 20 that I really that I have at the moment. I'm pretty sure because, yeah, Hugh Boxall got left out of St Kilda's side against the Western Bulldogs. And I don't expect Lucas Camporelli to be back after their performance. And neither do I expect any of the guys down here to be back as well, which would help out the side you would expect. But also I can't actually do anything about. Here as well between, I mean, it would help if Gross was back. That would definitely help a little bit because it mean I'd be able to play off of, I'd be able to look at Lohmann's score and judge that and then use Gross as a sort of judgment case. But yeah, I can't even do that. So yeah, I'm basically stuck into 20 guys. I did sort of hint at these type of trades in my fantasy trade targets video that has gone live now for you guys. You would have seen it a couple hours ago. But yeah, Zach Johnson, obvious trade in. Lindsay had to go. I kind of was forced into making these 3 trades. It feels like Levi could have potentially held, but that would have been for like a McAuliffe or something like that, and just up to get up to 21 guys, when if you really think about it, getting that extra guy, it may cost me 10 points, but if Levi doesn't come off against GWS and scores like a 60 or something like that, I'm just burning more cash. I burnt 23k holding him last week for a 63. He was also a 95 break-even, 96 break-even. If he goes that again, he loses another 28k. And then suddenly you're looking at a guy that's going to be priced at like, priced at 740k this buy. And he also has Geelong before that. So just get out of him now, I feel like, is best case scenario. Get out of these guys in round 16 buy. Really start to open that buy up a little bit. If we just look at the round 16 buy, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys on it. So it still do need to do a little bit of work. Get rid of probably Lohmann on that buy as well. Given that he's probably only going to go up a little bit more unless he really pops off and scores like a 70 or 80 there. If he doesn't, then he's really going to start to struggle to score points if we just go, or struggle to actually, I guess, score well. But anyway, let's just go to the pricing projector and show you what I'm meaning with Lohmann here and what I'm really looking at and trying to figure out, because, yeah, let's go to Lohmann here. It's a Lohmann there, and then we go here and we just say he's going to score 60 for the next couple of weeks. He goes up 35, 31k, and then hits his buy at 495k. Now, having said that, I've got Lohmann here. I've got these bench guys here. Obviously Sheldrick will go. This is effectively my full team at the moment. Everyone on field that I almost want is something like this. My full team basically at the moment. 2 mid-prices, 2 genuine mid-prices. Sam Doherty, don't know if he gets defender status. Don't know, need to double check that. And then you've got rookie here, rookie here. Now, I got to upgrade, obviously, these guys. Obviously, going to get in Mills next week. Oopsie, that was not what I intended to do. But Mills next week. If we go here, go to all prices, Mills. He is a defender at 763k, right? Then I will be able to effectively put Jack Sinclair into the midfield here, okay, at 763k. How can I get to him? Next week, it could be through Lohman. It could be through Isaac Rankin as well, and moving Petrarca in here, and then moving Jack Sinclair down there into the midfield. That's how I could get to Mills straight away from a Rankin if Rankin is not performing, because 3-4 weeks of Rankin not performing, I just want out almost at this point. So yeah, probably could be that. I'll also have 200k spare, so I could just go almost straight from a Carroll to a Mills if I wanted to, alongside potentially trading a... no, I probably wouldn't trade a McAuliffe at that point, but potentially getting out of a Gross or a Simpson or a Boxall at that point as well, and getting down to a McCarthy. Well, McCarthy will be on the bye, so can't even go down there. So we'll see who debuts and stuff this week. We'll see how that works out, but definitely want to target Mills, because him at that halfback role, it's dangerous. Like, he just works so much better than he did at that role that he had against Melbourne. Don't know what it was exactly from memory, but yeah, I just like the Mills selection. If we just even, can we grab up Mills here? I want to, you know what I'm going to do? Sorry, I need actually defender, which was dumb of me to select the midfielders. But if we go to Mills as a defender and we click and open new tab here, and we grab up Mills, you can see that 9% CBAs across the 2 games. He had 14% CBAs in the game against Melbourne, which is just not a role that we like. He also had 64% TOG. If you upgrade the TOG, he was probably looking at about 75-80 in normal time, I would say, for what he usually does TOG wise. Oh, you're probably actually looking at, you're probably looking at an 80 there. And then normal TOG against Richmond at halfback, he went 110. So I think you can average a 95-100 at halfback there for Sydney, which, yeah, that is just a really, really good look there. I know in 2020 he averaged 73.5 basically at halfback. Which I know that was also the COVID year, so you have to times it by 1.25, which I think gets him out to about an 80 something. Then you can see here a couple of years on ball and then an 84. So it will be interesting to see how that develops. He also probably won't have as many Seagulls in there. I know that there's a potential for Jake Lloyd to even be dropped, so it will be interesting to see. But yeah, definitely a guy I'm looking at and wondering how can I get to him next week without sort of blowing up my side. Maybe it is best case scenario is something like Carroll, Isaac Rankin, and potentially something like a Lucas Camporelli, because I have 206k spare. If it is something like that, and hopefully Carroll makes some cash, because if Carroll can go a 50 score or something like that and just make a little bit more cash, hopefully Camporelli plays, but maybe not. Maybe it is moving a McAuliffe or a Sheldrick. Maybe it is moving a Lohman on or something. Moving on like a Rankin, a Lohman, as well as a Carroll, and then moving them all onto Mills and then some other Primo, because I'll have something like 900k or something to move on to potentially. Maybe even looking at Colby McKercher if he plays that halfback role again, and moving on to him. Something like that could be the way that I move on. And suddenly, instead of rookies in like Carroll and say Lohman, instead of effectively them, I've got, well, it would be Rankin that I'd be moving on, I think. Maybe I could get away with... Let me actually just think about this. So I've got Lohman at 429k. 429k for Lohman, plus Carroll at 407k, plus the 206k spare. Leaves me with 1,042. Then you've got Mills, will be 763, so let's remove that. So basically I've got a rookie already in the likes. From Carroll and Lohman, I'll be able to get Mills and a rookie, right? Just straight up already. And the cash that I've got spare. Then I'd be able to probably move around another rookie in there. In the fact of maybe getting a Camporelli to a rookie or something. Or maybe getting refreshing someone else, like a Rankin up to another Primo. So I'd be effectively moving on and having, instead of... let's just think about that. So I'd have 279k. That's almost like a rookie price guy. And then Rankin, maybe he's like 820, 830k. Can I move him into someone in the 800k range? Let's just look at this and look at last round, maybe. Let's just give this. Meek, Oliver, Powell, Long. Nope. No one there that I really like. Let's just look in the forward range and see if there's anyone. Mana, Ginnivan, nope. Is there anyone in the defender range? Let's look at that one. Jasper Fletcher, maybe. Rivers, no. Amon, Bowie. Bowie, that's interesting that he's 820k. He's kind of nosedived. Archie Roberts, no. Noble could be interesting after a 46 as well. In a couple of weeks' time, maybe, but I don't think so. So that's just interesting discussion. Maybe even a Luke Ryan, potentially, but he scored a 60, so probably not. That's a massive discussion there to be had. But yeah, probably there's not many. Maybe there's some midfielder that I'm missing or something, but I don't think so. So yeah, that is an interesting discussion to be had about what I can do there, but definitely grabbing up the likes of Mills next week will be huge. Alongside potentially moving on someone, could maybe even move on someone like a Caleb Sarong or something like that, or even a Zach Merritt up to an actual primo, because he's on the buy in round 16. That would also lessen my load in round 16 as well. But yeah, I would potentially want to move on to Isaac Rankin on his buy, just because, yeah, I just need to move him on because he's shocking at the moment. But anyway, that is the video there, going through all of the potential trade options for me next week, alongside my trade options for round 14. If you guys did enjoy it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I will see you guys back here. It might be an hour or two later because I have to do some stuff, but I will see you guys back here for my Supercoach trade. Well, I guess my Supercoach trades, VC and captaincy. Just quickly before we go, we've got North Melbourne, Fremantle, West Coast, Carlton, Port Adelaide, Melbourne. So I'd be going the Max Gawn captaincy against Port. Just trying to find a VC potential. You could obviously look at the Essendon game for Geelong's sake for Bailey Smith, Petrarca, Caldwell, Dane Zorko. Who does he play? He's got GWS. Don't know if that's the best option. You've got also Rosie, Wangani, Malira, Harry Sheasel. Who does he play? Sheasel plays in the Freo game. Wangani, Malira, and Sinclair play early against the Bulldogs. You could go Sinclair or something, or Wangani, Malira. I feel like that's probably what I'll do, is probably Sinclair VC into the likes of a Gawn. I know Cherry has Fremantle, which I'm pretty sure is an alright matchup, but I'm not sure if it's the perfect matchup. So yeah, just looking at defense first position here quickly and going through that, and you'll see that Freo are a negative matchup, or sorry, +2. And then for designated kickers, you got Richmond, Melbourne, Essendon. So we're trying on the St Kilda against the Western Bulldogs, which is which they are a -1.83. Mostly because it somehow has Josh Battle as a Desi kicker. Mitch Duncan, I think, was sub anyway. Joel Jeffries, Connor Rosie went 87. Miles Bowen went 55. But you had Lockie Whitfield, Lockie Ash go 117, 113. And Luke Ryan went 109 against them. So that's interesting. Sinclair himself in round 6 went 78. So that's intriguing. Maybe not actually them. And who does the likes of Rosie have? He has got the Melbourne. Melbourne are actually a really good matchup, aren't they? Melbourne actually, yeah. So it might be a Rosie into the likes of a Jack Sinclair. Rosie into Max Gawn for captaincy sake. But also if Bailey Smith plays, I might just chuck it on him there as well. As you've got that there. I'll just see if he's actually named, because that could be interesting as, Rosie plays against Melbourne. So anyway, I will go probably the Bailey Smith into Max Gawn and see how that goes. Don't want to touch Kennedy against St Kilda. I don't think, to be honest with you, as an inside mid, they're basically even. And then you've got Bailey Smith playing against the likes of Bailey Smith against Essendon, and for inside mids, Essendon are a +4.79. So yeah, Bailey Smith into Max Gawn this weekend for the VC and captaincy. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys finally back in the Supercoach team reveal for round 14 later. Bye guys.